Hey all, boardgamerants here. We'll find everything solo, tabletop gaming, and more. This is my playthrough of a couple turns so you can get a sense of the feel for Darkest Night 2nd Edition. If you haven't seen my overview of it yet, I'd start there so you know what's going on, and then come back here and let's check it out. Are you ready? So, we've got our heroes here, and we're looking to see what to do. Now, each hero has its own little stack of very unique power cards. You get to start off with 3, and the back of these cards, too, by the way, this is an unused hero and has a handy dandy chart here to help you decide what kind of actions you can do, help you go through a hero's turn. And then over here as well, this is another cheat sheet that tells you the different items and what they do. But the Necromancer, this is the one I use probably the most. Each turn kind of reminds you what the Necromancer does each turn. And so what we're going to be doing is, as we use our characters, we've got Grace and we've got Secrecy. These are two resources that we're going to be using up. Originally, Grace is like our hit points, and Secrecy is how well we do out in the land and whether the Necromancer can find us. The events that we're going to be drawing are going to have us look at, as each hero exposes an event card, that event card oftentimes refers to where your tokens are, either Grace or Secrecy, and bad things happen depending on how far up or down the track is. And so that's another way that those are very important. And if this ever gets down to here and then you have to lose one, you die. So that is a quick rundown of the characters. And so let's get to playing here. Now, the Exorcist, you can go in any order. And so I could pick any one of my 4 characters and go. But the Exorcist has kind of a neat thing here. Cloister. Well, so first of all, let's run down this. So starting, I would have to look at this and find out, well, there's none of the stuff here under start I have to worry about. Event. Skip this step if you're in the monastery. We all start in the monastery. So I get to skip the event. Action. I get to take 1 action. So with this power card, it says action. 1 hero at your location gains 2 secrecy, up to 7. Then all heroes at the location who have less secrecy than that hero may gain a secrecy, up to 7. So we'll go ahead and use this action. 1 hero, since we're all at the same location, we're all here, we're all bundled together, safe and sound. We'll go over, let's see here. Let's go over to this, try to maximize this action. We'll go over to this Scholar, and we'll use this Cloister power, raise his secrecy up to 7. Then all heroes at the location who have less secrecy than that hero may gain 1. So heck yeah, up to 7. So this guy goes up, and this guy goes up, and this guy goes up. So that was the Exorcist turn. Helped us all kind of get into cloak and dagger form there. And then at the end, if any blights in your location, there's no blights here. So we flip this token over to signify, okay, Exorcist has gone. Now, I do want to start searching out in the land, but if I go into the village, we're going to have to fight this lich, and rather not. If we go up here, we're going to start losing grace. That's what that curse does, lose grace upon entering that area. If we go down here, nothing really bad happens. We don't have to fight anything, and as we enter it, nothing bad happens. It just, this dark fog makes it really tough to search in the forest, but we can take out that guy. So let's start moving people down there. So the Tamer's going to go. Again, no event is needed to be drawn. Let's just take the Tamer, move him down there. Now that is a travel action. And it says here, if you move, you'd gain a secrecy up to 5, but he's already got more than 5. So it doesn't get any more secrecies. You're slinking out in the land. You make it more difficult for the Necromancer to zero in on you, so it increases your secrecy, but only up to a certain point. So the Tamer has, at the end it says, if any blights in your location have end of turn effects, resolve them. And if you spent your entire turn in the monastery, gain 1 secrecy up to default. Now the Exorcist, going back to that guy, he did spend his entire turn there, but his secrecy was his default is this little symbol there, so he wouldn't have gained any more secrecy by spending his whole turn in the monastery. You can go to the monastery during the game to kind of rest up, if you will. And so the Tamer has gone because this dark fog doesn't attack you. That's usually these yellow bordered blights attack you. So not the blue ones. So that's done. And now we're going to go over to the Scholar. So the Scholar here is really good at searching in general. So we're going to take the scholar. And where are you, scholar? We're going to drop him down into the forest as well. And he's not going to gain secrecy for that travel action. But he is done. And now the prince goes. And we're just going to... The prince might be able to knock out, has a pretty good chance of fighting this dark fog blight. And, you know, you just kind of wave your arms around in the mist for a while. And if you do it really effectively, you knock out that blight. I don't know exactly how that works. But anyway, so we're going to take the prince. We're going to do the same thing everybody else has been doing. Travel on down to the forest. And, however, when he travels, it says right there, remember, move, gain 1 secrecy up to 5. So yeah, along with cloister effect there in the monastery, and then traveling, the prince has gained some good secrecy there, because he doesn't start off with very much. He's pretty boisterous, I guess, and but we're teaching him our ways. So that is the end of the character's turn. Now it's Necromancer's turn. So we go over here and we can see what the Necromancer does. First of all, increases the darkness by 1. Oh, there we go. That goes to 1. And as that goes up, eventually we have to draw a darkness card, which is naughty. That adds to his strength considerably. So that's, the longer the game goes on, the more that darkness goes up, and the worse it gets for our heroes. And then then what would happen, it says quests over here. So now if there were any quests out on the board, if any of these guys were out on the board, they have timers on them. You only have so much time to complete a quest. So he would put a little timer token on there, and if there's too many timer tokens on that quest, it would go away and a bad thing would happen, typically. But if we reach a quest and complete it before the timer tokens reach that level, then good things tend to happen. But there's no quests out on the board, so nothing happens yet. Now, movement. So the way he moves is we take this die here and we roll it. You take that number, in this case 4, and you look and see if he finds anybody. So anybody who's got less than 4 secrecy, he starts moving towards. Well, everybody is doing well to hide from the Necromancer right now. So he's just going to move in this direction of 4. So now you look where he's at in the ruins, and you look, and these little arrows are what tell you what he's going to do. So if he rolls a 4, it says he's just going to stay here. If he rolled a 6 or a 4, he just stays here. If he rolled a 2, he would have gone up to the swamp, for instance. But nope, he stays there. And last thing on his turn, what he does is he creates a blight. So that's what it says right here, blights. So create a blight. You draw one of these map cards. You look for where he's at, which is in the ruins, and it tells you, okay, he creates a spy's blight. So then we go over here, we grab our spy's blight, and that joins the lich. And now we've got spies. So now every time if you end your turn here, that's where this end effect would take. It says any blights in your location have end of turn effects. This guy is you lose a secrecy each turn. And also on the same thing that tells us how the Necromancer works, on the back side of it, you can look up and it'll show you, it'll tell you what each, where the heck is spy? Okay, there it is. Spy is right in the middle there. At the end of each turn in the affected location, a hero loses 1 secrecy. So that's what happens on Necromancer's turn. And now we're back to our turn. So now remember, we can take our turn in any order. So let's flip these back over so we know who's gone and who's not. Now what I want to do is I want to take the prince and I want to try and knock out this fog, because that fog really increases the search difficulty. Right now the search difficulty says 4, so you have to roll a die and get 4 or higher to successfully search the forest, but it's actually increased by 2, so you have to roll a solid 6 with that dark fog in the forest. That is making it very difficult to search there. So we're going to take, remember I said we can go in any order, we're going to use this prince, and but now we're not in the monastery, so now we actually have to do an event. So we're going to do, this is an event for the prince, a time for heroes, gain a spark. Okay, so a spark, these are nice, you can have up to 3, and it basically adds the number of die you can roll to do a test, like searching or like fighting or something like that. Add a time marker to a quest currently in play. Well, there is none. It says if there is no quest in play, draw a quest and roll 1 die to determine its location. The world is at a tipping point. More can happen in this hour than in a year of calm. So what we do is we draw this quest card. This quest card, now we roll this die to determine where it goes. It's going to go in 2. So basically, you start at the village, and you look to see where the 2. So the 2, if you rolled a 2, so that Door of Darkness now is in the ruins. And so there's draw a quest and roll 1 die to determine its location. So that's how you determine the location. And so now we've got a Door of Darkness here with 5, once that hits 5 timer markers on it, it triggers expired and a blight shows up. But if we manage to complete it, ooh, we get to draw a mystery card. And the mystery cards, again, are how we get clues, which are how we get the holy relics, which is how we win the game. So we want to get to this Door of Darkness and complete its action so that we can get that mystery. So that was the prince's event. And now he gets to take his action. So we want him to take out this fog. So to fight this fog, it says it has a might of 5. And if we don't successfully hit that mark, we're going to lose a turn. So that's not very good. So we want to make sure we want to try to. So if we fight it, we can't just elude fog. I mean, we can, it just doesn't do any good. So we're going to have to use our strategy, fight with 2 dice. You always get to fight at least with 1. So with strategy, I get to roll 2 dice, and then I'm going to use this spark to increase the number of die that I can roll for this test. And again, now what I have to get is a 5 or higher to increase, or to destroy this dark fog blight. So here we go. Got a 2, got a 4, got a 5. Whew, close one. So it's good that I used everything at my power there to try and knock out that blight, and it worked. So dark fog blight, you just drop it over here with the other stack, and the dark fog has been lifted. The prince did his job. And now we've got this ability to search this forest, and now it's a lot easier to search this forest now the dark fog is gone. So we're going to use this scholar, because the scholar has all sorts of bonuses for searching. So first of all, we're going to go to the event. Got to go to the event deck. There we go. How's it do? So he stumbled across a ritual. You may spend 1 grace and lose 1 secrecy to cancel this event. Otherwise, we'd have to count the blights in our location. Well, fortunately for us, the prince just knocked out all the blights. And it says if there's 0, the necromancer moves there. Ooh, so the necromancer would just move right on over. And then the other things, if there were blights there, we'd have to make a new blight or increase. So, well, it doesn't really hurt anything to have him come over here, except for that then at the end of his turn, he's going to create a blight. And he might not, otherwise he might do one here or move up here or here. And we kind of want him to leave this forest alone. We just cleared it out. So let's go ahead. It says I can cancel this event if I spend 1 grace and 1 secrecy. So the scholar has to lose a grace and has to lose a secrecy, cancels that event, so this necromancer is not going to move. You just stay over there, pal, and leave us alone in this forest so we can do some snooping around. And so we're going to search. Now, when we search, you always get to any test, you always get to roll at least 1 die. And in this case, I'd have to roll 4 or higher. But if I fail a search in this case, he gets some stuff there potentially. So we're just going to roll our 1 lowly die. We've got a 4 or higher, and we rolled a 5. Good. So with that 5, we had a successful search. And it says, if you search successfully, draw an extra map card. So normally, when you roll any successes that you get, so if I'd rolled more than 2 die and both of them were 4 or higher, I would have gotten to draw 2 of these map cards. In this case, I rolled 1 die, 1 success. I get to draw 1 map card. And you would look and you'd see where you're at. I'm in the forest. What do I find in the forest? I find a mystery. That's what this token means. You can go over here and it says clues, mystery, draw a mystery card. So, but because I'm very thorough in my search, I can draw an extra map card. I still only get to keep one result, but let's say I didn't like that result of the forest, and I was really looking to gain a treasure chest. With treasure chests, that's how you draw more power cards. So if I was really looking to get more power cards available to me, I might take this result. But for now, I'm happy with finding a mystery. So what happens now is I draw a mystery card. And a little stack of mystery cards. Mystery cards. So first of all, on the top there, you immediately get 2 clues. So I automatically got 2 towards that 10 that I'm looking to reach, so I can get these holy relics, so I can battle the necromancer. And draw, it says action, draw another mystery card. Then discard this card. So that's an action you can possibly take if you're at this location, but it's telling me random. So just like the quest here, we're going to determine randomly where this mystery ends up. 6. So 6 stays in the village. So this obelisk is now, obelisk mystery is in there. And it basically, if we go there and use its action instead of all the other actions we could take, we could draw another mystery card and then discard this. So we kind of has a nice little chain reaction effect going there. And we found 2 clues. So we're definitely on the right track here. We have used his action to search. And again, over here, this is where it says roll against a search difficulty. Draw 1 map card per success. Choose 1. So I did that. He is done. And his bonuses came in handy. If I'd failed, then I could have gotten either a spark or nothing at all, or gained a treasure chest. So if my scholar fails in the search, he actually finds a gem in the rough. Pretty nice. So now we'll go over the tamer. And so the tamer has mainly good ways to he has tricks and pounce. And with his stock effect here, he can use his pounce effect on those cards, but he has to use an action to basically trigger or activate these different magpie or sylph totems, or whatever you want to call them. So, and spirits. And so what we're going to have him do is, well, you know, we're here and there's nothing to beat up, and we want to search. We want to keep trying to find those, and also we stand a chance of finding a chest, which would allow us to draw another power card, which makes our abilities more and more. So why don't we just stick around and search? But first, we have to draw this event card. So we're for the tamer. Dark Tempest. Roll 3 dice, then pick and resolve any 2. Oh boy, here we go. So roll 3 dice. Here's the 3 dice. Here we go. We got a 1, a 6, and a 1. Okay. So, well, we can do the 1 twice, or we can do a 1 and a 6. If we do the 1 twice, we have to raise the darkness level 2 times. That's like 2 extra free turns. So that's not a good thing. Or we can just move to the monastery and go up 1. Well, if we move to the monastery, we can't really do anything, because we can't search in the monastery. It even says right there, it cannot search. There's nothing to find in the monastery. It's just a safe place to go. So we're just going to, for this game's sake anyway, we're just going to raise that up. I'm going to use these 2 1s, and we're going to increase the darkness level 2 times. Not good. Definitely come back to bite us earlier on. But there are ways too that you can reduce the darkness sometimes. So at least gets to stay put. And now, well, let's see here. I swap the location of 2 blights, or swap the location of 2 heroes. Activate, gain a spark. Deactivate up to 2, and gain 1 spark each. No. So we're just going to go ahead and search. Same thing. Going to roll this, see if we get 4 or higher. We rolled a 1. Ugh. So we failed in our search. Now, nothing bad happens to us other than nothing at all happens to us. So that was the tamer's turn, and we'll flip that over and we'll go right over the exorcist. The exorcist is up here, still in the monastery. Doesn't have to do an event, and so we're just going to scooch out over to, and I probably should have done that with the tamer. I probably should have just moved him over here, but we really only need 1 guy to move out. We're going to move this guy over here. And with his move, he would gain secrecy if he could, but he doesn't. And now he's here. That was his action. At the end of the action, now he has to try and dodge this Lich. This Lich is going to come after him. He has a couple different options. He can either try to fight it and subdue the Lich, or evade and just dodge it. When you're at the end of your turn, you're not going to kill the Lich if you get a successful roll. You're just going to survive the damage that it might do. So in his case, it says, oh, at the start of your turn, make a single roll of 2 dice. So I forgot to do that. So before he did anything, he had rolled these 2 dice, and he'd gotten a 3 and a 4, which he needed a 2 to activate his boon, so that didn't do us any good anyway. So now, when he's over here, tactic, fight with 2 dice when attacking a Blight or the Necromancer. Well, right now, this is actually different. It's an attack is an actual action you take. For his action, he did travel, so he can't attack right now. So we can't use this banish, because we're just going to we're just basically combating, I guess, this Lich. So all I get to do, you always get to roll 1, and I don't have anything here that allows me to boost that. So I'm just going to roll it. I got a 3. That was not a 5 or higher. Both of these were a 5. And so I would have had to pick one. Am I going to elude or am I going to battle? And since they were both the same and I didn't get any benefits from any of my cards, it didn't really matter. So I just rolled, I got a 3, I lost. Fail, skull and crossbones means I lose a grace. And if that ever goes here and then pops off, you die. So in this case, the Lich got the upper hand and I am done. And then we go over to the Necromancer. Let's see what he does. Again, increases the darkness level. Boop. And then quest. So now on the quest, and again, I'm looking right over here. This is telling me what I need to do. Quest, add a timer token to the quest. So we'll go over here, grab a timer token, put that on there. Once it gets 5, that triggers the expired. Bad stuff happens. And then movement. So he's going to roll his die. 1 or lower. So nope, he doesn't see anybody. Nobody's lower than 1 on their secrecy. So he's just going to move in the direction of 1, which in this case, this says he's up, so he's moving over here anyway. And then he's going to create a Blight, flip over this map card, and now he is in the forest. So in the forest, he creates confusion. So we go over here, and we look for confusion. There it is. And he adds a confusion. So now no one can use tactics on their cards. So like this tactic would do me no good here. This tactic knew him, so that's what confusion does. Not good. And then you flip these back over, and then we just keep going and keep going. And as you can see, blights are going to start popping up. We got mysteries out here that we can start doing that are going to allow us to get more clue tokens, which is the big point of the game, so that we can get and collect these holy relics. You got quests that pop out that allow us to, based on if they're completed or expired, do certain things. And hopefully that gives you an idea.